Good morning and welcome to Viewpoint, a weekly program dedicated to hearing from community leaders about upcoming events or points of interest to our area. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of Giant FM Radio Company, the owners of Z92.5. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Viewpoint. Today we have the honor of talking with JC Barnett III. He is the Executive Director of Carver Center, Carver Community Center. JC, thanks for coming in today and talking about Carver and some of the things going on there.
Absolutely, Rob. I appreciate the opportunity to talk today about Carver Center. It's been a staple in the community for decades, and I'm happy to be in leadership there.
Talk a little bit about how you became the executive director and how long you've been in the position.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I truly believe it was a God-ordained thing. A friend of mine approached me at one point about the potential for maybe being the executive director, that there was going to be a position coming available, and I took some time to think about it, to pray about it, to consider with my family about it, and truly what it came down to for me is all the years that I've participated in community things and been active with the youth. I just truly feel like it was a calling, more of a calling on my life, and I couldn't escape it even if I wanted to. So this was a chance to really engage and connect to community in a different way, with youth in a different way, and impact more lives.
With the Carver Community Center and your direction now, what are you most proud of as Carver Community Center comes into your leadership?
Well, one of the things I'm super excited about is just really having the chance to change the perception of Carver in the community. For many years, it has been recognized as a place of recreation. We have a prominent program in our youth basketball Winter Youth Basketball League, and that's still very much a thing. We still want to be sure that we're serving that population in the way that we do, and even greater. But I want people to understand that Carver is an institution of learning. It is a place for youth to come of all ages and really begin to explore various aspects of education, whether that's youth art, whether that's math, whether that's science, in the way of receiving help via tutoring. We have a great STEM program. We have brilliant instructors in our robotics program. And then we have a very good summer program called Closing the Gap, led by and coordinated by a lady by the name of Cheryl Simmons. And she does a brilliant job with that. So, again, recognizing Carver as an institution of learning and continuing to grow and expand on that.
What are you doing to put those particular programs into effect and getting the right people in the right places? Well,
I truly value relationship. It's not always about the thing that we're doing versus building relationships. And I apply that same principle to our leadership. I'm looking for individuals who love kids first and foremost and want to engage and be impactful in the way of speaking into the lives of young people. But also, I want to be sure those people are bringing their brilliant mind to the table. Jeff Marr, for example, he was for years and years was an engineer. And so now he's bringing those same skills and abilities and being able to communicate that to young people through our robotics program. Cheryl Simmons, our Closing the Gap director. She was a teacher in Kokomo Center schools for more than 20 years. So these individuals like this are able to make a great connection to our youth in a very special way, mainly because this is what they did as their profession for years. And so they're able to continue to express that love through something that they did and still able to continue to do within Carver.
We're talking with JC Barnett today, the Executive Director of Carver Community Center, and some of the exciting things that are going to be happening under his leadership there. What is participation at Carver have been here in the past few years, and especially in the programs for education?
Well, education in the last several years has been something that has been present, but I want to say that right now we're doing a really good job of. It starts with this. I'll be honest. It starts with having a new, fresh board with young blood, and are bringing new ideas and talent to the table. And with that turnover in our board and having these individuals present, we've been able to explore and imagine new ideas. And so with that, through our educational programming, we've been able to develop a greater resurgence of excitement for the programming that we're bringing to the table. In recent past, I go back to, I've been in this position a little less than a year now. I came in April 1st of 2024. And in less than a year, we are seeing a new excitement about the things that we're doing. On average, we're about 10 to 15 students per program. So for robotics, for our youth art, for our after-school program, and then right now we're right in the middle of our winter basketball season, and that explodes every year. So we're taking the opportunity to engage in finding unique ways to engage in our basketball community to get them interested in more educational opportunities as well. We're not going to waste those opportunities. So we're continuing and still in a rebuilding phase, but this is the direction that we're going with each of our programs, and it's gaining good traction and much excitement.
We had Travis Taflinger in before the end of last year, and he talked about Bridges doing some work with the Carver Community Center. What is that all about?
Yes, Travis Taflinger has been a personal friend of mine for years and years. Mutual love for basketball, mutual love for educating and engaging with young people in the community. Before I took this, and I told you earlier that my life's path has really brought me to this place. I've had a chance to work with Bridges Outreach Program in my college days and then up to the last 10, 15 years. So I've had a chance to watch that program, see what they do, and find ways to implement that at Carver. So I'm truly thankful for his friendship and the opportunity to have been able to work with Bridges. But the way that we've been able to engage with each other while I've been at Carver has been, they have a summer program called Summer Slam. That program brings in about 50 kids and students. They are students in the summertime, and that runs the length of early June to early July. Right now, we're partnering for our after-school program. Which I want people to know about our after-school program. I want it to be more of a seamless perspective about what that is. For those who are familiar with the after-school program, this program runs from 4 to 6, Monday through Friday. Carver being a safe haven for a lot of kids, a couple hours every day after school. Parents can get some things accomplished, and they know that Carver's a safe space for them, and they're going to be educated. They're going to have fun for a couple of hours every day after school. But the understanding should be that it's not just a Carver thing. It's not just a Bridges thing. It is truly a partnership, a collaboration with each other to serve these kids, students, grades kindergarten through 5th for a couple days after school, Monday through Friday. So come every day. Be excited every day. You're going to get a different look every day, and that's okay. But, your kids are going to have a great time and be safe.
We're with JC Barnett. He is the Executive Director of Carver Community Center, and learning a little bit about Carver. You talked before we sat down for the interview about some of the history of Carver. What are some of the things that you find interesting in the development of Carver through the years?
Yeah. A really good friend of mine is Howard County historian Gil Porter. And together, Gil Porter and I have developed what's called the Carver Connection. And every week on Facebook platform, as well as on Instagram, we take the opportunity to share some of Carver's history. But it doesn't just stop at Carver. It is Carver history is also Kokomo history. Kokomo history is also Howard County history. And what we're finding even greater than that is Howard County Kokomo history is national history. I don't know if you've seen the excitement lately about the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit at Artworks downtown. Really good friend of mine, Robin Williams. She is the curator for that exhibit. And as a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, we took some Carver kids, after school program kids, to see that exhibit. Brilliant exhibit. But all 5 of those gentlemen who are on that mural and considered Tuskegee Airmen, they were Carver kids. And so the history runs deep. The roots are deep. It's an incredible history. Just something else I'll just share with you briefly is I'm just fascinated by the gentleman who started the Carver Center, Reverend Henry A. Perry. Although he was not born in Kokomo and he ended up moving away and developing a history elsewhere, the history that he created here in Kokomo was tremendous. First of all, in creating the Carver, having a vision for the Carver Center, which gave young black youth in that time frame a place of recreation and a place to go where they might not have been welcome in other places. But the development of the Carver Center 80 years later, nearly 80 years later, is still something that we can very much be proud of. This gentleman not only was the director of the Carver Center, but he was the principal of Douglas School. He was also the reverend or the preacher at Wayman AME Chapel. History, this mutual love that Gil and I have for history, we were able to make a connection and do something very special through this Carver Connection. With
the Carver Connection, what are you doing to implement history and making it part of present day? Of course, you talk about Douglas School. That is being worked on as part of a project and kind of a beacon for the community here. And is there anything that Carver is partnering with those people on?
Presently, I would have to say short answer no to that, but that does not mean that there could not be something in the works for future. There's very much a connection there. As we know through Reverend Perry, there's a connection there because Carver kids at one time were Douglas School kids. Douglas School kids were Carver kids. So there's a relationship, and I think we can explore that further here in the near future. Well, the way that we're making history relevant today in the community, for example, about the Robert settlement, which was a black settlement in East Howard County in the 1800s. And so this was a prominent community. It's a part of our history, and we're helping give descendants of that settlement who presently live in Kokomo and kind of all around this area, but a large group of individuals who live in Kokomo as well, the idea of what that settlement was about, how they came about, how they lived. There's going to be a great history of the connection between that time and today, I'm sure. And so empowering people to look first into the history, but also giving them the tools to do the research themselves. And that's powerful.
Are there other partnerships you have at Carver?
Yes. We are thrilled to be in partnership with Pastor Brown of Refreshing Springs. He is the CEO of a nonprofit organization called Heart to Heart. And through that nonprofit organization is a program called Undertone Music and Fine Arts. This is an opportunity for kids to engage brilliant art instructors as well as musicians to learn various instruments and to really learn the foundation of being an artist. If a child wanted to continue on to be an artist one day as a profession, they are truly getting the foundation of what that looks like and getting the basics and the skills and developing the skills of being a true artist. And this is in both realms, the art world as well as the music world from brilliant artists.
If somebody wants to become involved in Carver Community Center, whether as a student or even as a volunteer to help instruct, what do they need to do?
Well, I would love to hear from you. And there's several different channels. You can visit our website at kokomocarver.org, or you can email us at kokomocarver@gmail.com, or feel free to call us by phone. I'll be happy to talk to you by phone at 765-457-9318.
JC Barnett III, Executive Director of Carver Community Center. Thank you for coming out today, and hopefully we can stay in touch over the next year, have you back, and see what some of the progress is for Carver Community Center, and just thank you so much.
Absolutely. Rob, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You've just heard Viewpoint. If you missed any portion of the program, you can go to our website, Z925FM.com, and hear the program in its entirety. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of Giant FM Radio Company, the owners of Z92.5.